Previously on the Civil War, the Battle of Chickamauga left the Union's Army of Cumberland under the leadership of William F. Rosecrans completely wounded.
Retreat!
The Union retreated to the city of Chattanooga. The leader of the Confederacy, Braxton Bragg, followed them into the city but laid siege instead of pursuing the damaged army and set up camps at Lookout Mountain and Missionary Ridge and sent cavalry units to the north to block off supplies. So now that hope seems lost, a hero comes to aid the Union. Who's in charge here?
Me.
Not more than that. I have been asked to relieve you. Order from Lincoln himself.
Yeah, and who are you?
I'm the new commanding officer here. I'm Major General Grant.
But...
Enough better. I'm in charge here. And now it's time to take Chattanooga. And now on the Civil War. At the Confederate camp,
General Braxton, why did you not pursue the Union and instead lay siege to the city of Chattanooga?
Well, President Davis, I thought I made the right decision. It is a good defensive strategy, in my opinion.
You wouldn't have needed a defensive strategy if you just finished them off there.
Yeah, I guess I could have finished them off. Whoops. Sorry.
Well, sorry isn't good enough. You are an unpopular general among the Confederacy, and this will not help your reputation any further. I shall leave you right now, but maybe you need to be taught a lesson and finish off what you have started.
Well, thank you, sir. I will not let you down this time.
okay, so all of a sudden they're starting to speak in southern accents because I just remembered when recording that they needed to do that, and I don't feel like going back and changing it. So, yeah, just deal with it.
No, you will not. Oh yeah, I'm taking General Longstreet. He is needed elsewhere.
But, sir, that will cut our army down to only 50,000 troops.
Too late. I'm already gone.
Aww.
Bragg was born in Warrenton, North Carolina. The younger brother of future Confederate Attorney General Thomas Bragg. He graduated 5th in a class of 50 from the United States Military Academy in 1837 and was commissioned a 2nd lieutenant in the 3rd U.S. Artillery. Bragg served in the Second Seminole War in Florida and took part in the occupation of Texas. Bragg was also promoted to captain within the regular army in June 1846. Bragg had a reputation for being a strict disciplinarian and one who adhered to regulations literally. There was the story of him being a commander and a quartermaster. He, as a commander, requested supplies for his unit, but denied them as a quartermaster, meaning he denied his own request, so he became quite controversial and unpopular. It is alleged that some of his troops attempted to assassinate him on 2 occasions in August and September 1847, but he was not injured either time. In January 1856, Bragg resigned from the United States Army to become a sugar planter in Thibodaux, Louisiana. Before the start of the Civil War, Bragg was a colonel in the Louisiana militia and was promoted to major general in the militia on February 20th, 1861. He commanded the forces around New Orleans, Louisiana. Meanwhile, at the Union camp, I don't know how we'll do it. We are low on ammo and soldiers. I don't know if we can make it out of this one, but hey. What's that? In comes the army of Sherman, Thomas, and Hooker, generals of the Union.
Well, looks like the cavalry has arrived.
I get it. You see, we're a cavalry, and the figure of speech here is true, so it's not just a metaphor.
Shut up, Sherman. We're here on port. Oh, okay. I just understood the joke. I got it.
Now, with all the Union's army in a great mood after a great joke, the Union has amassed an army of over 70,000 men, and with great leaders, the Union sees hope of victory. William Sherman was born in 1820 in Lancaster, Ohio. Senator E. Wing secured an appointment for the 16-year-old Sherman as a cadet in the United States Military Academy at West Point, where he roomed and became good friends with another important future Civil War general, George H. Thomas. Upon graduation in 1840, Sherman entered the Army as a 2nd lieutenant in the 3rd U.S. Artillery and saw action in Florida in the Second Seminole War against the Seminole tribe. He was later stationed in Georgia and South Carolina. Sherman performed administrative duties in the captured territory of California. Sherman earned a brevet promotion to captain for his meritorious service, but his lack of combat assignment discouraged him and may have contributed to his decision to resign his commission. Sherman would become one of the relatively few high-ranking officers in the Civil War who had not fought in Mexico. Sherman was first commissioned as a colonel in the 13th U.S. Infantry Regiment effective May 14, 1861. George Henry Thomas was born in Newsome's Depot. Graduating from the United States Military Academy in 1840, he served as an artillery subaltern in the war against the Seminole Indians in Florida and in the Mexican-American War at the battles of Fort Brown, Rasca de la Palma, Monterrey, and Buena Vista, receiving 3 promotions for distinguished gallantry in action. From 1851 to 1854, he was an instructor at West Point. In 1855, he was appointed a major of the 2nd U.S. Cavalry by Jefferson Davis, then Secretary of War. At the beginning of the Civil War, most generals stayed loyal to their states and joined the side their states were part of, but Thomas stayed with the U.S. Thomas, promoted to Major General effective April 25, 1862, was given command of the right wing consisting of 4 divisions from Grant's former Army of the Tennessee and 1 from the Army of Ohio. Joseph Hooker was born in Hadley, Massachusetts, the grandson of a captain in the American Revolutionary War. He graduated from the United States Military Academy in 1837, ranked 29th out of the class of 50. He was commissioned a 2nd lieutenant in the 1st U.S. Artillery. His initial assignment was in Florida, fighting in the 2nd of the Seminole Wars. He served in the Mexican-American War in staff positions in the campaigns of both Zachary Taylor and Winfield Scott. At the start of the war, Hooker requested a commission, but his first application was rejected, possibly because of the lingering resentment harbored by Winfield Scott, General-in-Chief of the Army. He had to borrow money to make a trip east from California. After he witnessed the Union Army defeat at the First Battle of Bull Run, he wrote a letter to President Abraham Lincoln that complained of military mismanagement, promoted his own qualifications, and again requested a commission. He was appointed in August 1861 as Brigadier General of Volunteers to rank from May 17. Grant was born in Point Pleasant, Ohio. At the age of 17, Grant entered the United States Military Academy at West Point, New York. After securing a nomination through his U.S. Congressman, Thomas L. Hamer, who erroneously nominated him as Ulysses S. Grant of Ohio, Grant adopted the form of his new name with the middle initial only, because U.S. also stands for Uncle Sam. Grant's nickname also became Sam among his Army colleagues. He graduated from USMA in 1843, ranking 21st in the class of 39. At the Academy, he established a reputation as a fearless and expert horseman. Although this made him seem a natural for cavalry, he assigned to duty as a regimental quartermaster, managing supplies and equipment. Lieutenant Grant served in the Mexican-American War under General Zachary Taylor and Winfield Scott, where, despite his assignment as a quartermaster, he got close enough to the front lines to see action, taking part in battles of Resaca de la Palma, Palo Alto, Monterrey, and Veracruz. Shortly after Confederate forces fired upon Fort Sumter, President Abraham Lincoln put out a call for 75,000 militia volunteers. Grant helped recruit a company of volunteers and accompanied it to Springfield, the capital of Illinois. He later became a Major General for the Union Army.